Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa. I'm hoping you're all having a wonderful and creative day. And today is going to be the last official video of my colorful journal series. And I'm just going to do a quick run through of all that I've accomplished since the beginning of January. It's the end of August, kind of crazy, but very exciting. So, recap. So in January, I started with the blue books. I did as I did with every single month, I did a fabric cover journal. In blue. I'm not going to go through. There's flip throughs out there for it. Created a digital for all the stuff, but lots of fun things to go in there. This one I had a button closure that I used elastic for, so that was kind of what was new about that. And the other thing was I did a Reader's Digest altered book. I picked this one because January, Snow on the Wind, Man Who Rode Midnight, because, you know, January 1st, midnight. And this was fun to do. I had never done one before, where I just fold some pages, covered them with a bunch of scrapbooking pages, put a few tags and such in there, but left places that things can be filled in later, open spots, just some decorating. But yeah, so fun stuff. So January was blue. Okay, on to February. February was pink. So as usual, I had the fabric journal here. I added this fun dangle that I never really made these kind of dangles before. So this was fun to do. And similar to the other stuff that I have, just the difference was I had attached this ribbon inside the 2 layers of journal to have it get closed so that it was not an eyelet and didn't cover the front for that. And the second journal that I did for it, the companion, was I did do a tall skinny journal. I don't make too many of these. I did add some fabric with an eyelet, but just did a tall skinny journal for this one. Definitely out of my comfort zone to do this, but still fun. So that was, I suppose I should not at first, I just put a bow on it. So this was the February series. And again, I had made a digital, I don't want to say it for each one here. I made a digital for each version of the color ones. I think I made one for each one. And if you haven't checked them all out, they're in my Ko-fi account. So they're for that. So February. All right, March brought us to the green journals. Again, regular fabric one. This one for the tie closure, I had actually strung the journal signature with this ribbon. You can see it's coming out of there, and then made it long enough to be able to wrap around and tie for this. So this was actually part of the, find the center here, of course. Come on. The ribbon is here. It is part of the center, and then it became the tie for it. So this was a unique way to create a closure. I think I mentioned when I made this that I would have probably picked a ribbon. This has a bit of wire on it, so it got pretty smushed in the tying part. So I probably would have picked a ribbon that didn't have the wired edges to do this before, but I definitely would do it again because I thought that was a great way to close a journal. And the second journal on this was I did a book journal. I made it into like a purse. I have a beaded end spine on it, but this was it was also a 2 signature journal that I had done, and it was a hidden spine because I didn't, well, no, actually it wasn't a hidden spine. It was a 5. I have to think about it. It was a 5 instead of a 3-hole spine, it was a 5-hole spine. Boy, it's been a while since I did it. It was a 5-hole spine to put this in, but the 2 signatures that are in here were put in as a hidden signature. Confused? I am too. But again, if you want to see any of these things, you can check out the color playlist. And look for the green journals. All right, next up for April was the teal ones. And these are probably my most cheerful, colorful, fun kind of ones. So this is a fabric I found. It had bees on it and teal, so I thought this was fun to do. So I had teal bees, kind of an outdoor you know, spring's coming and starting kind of deal. This closure is I had put inside a piece of fabric with a snap, and then the snap closure on there. So that went on there. Some fun honeycomb kind of corner, so it's great. And the second journal involved using Tim Holtz paper on chipboard, and this one was also a 2 signature. And I also did a unique closure where I used one of these what are they called, parachute kind of for fanny packs, these kind of clips. Use that in there where I attach the fanny clip to a twill kind of ribbon, and ended up putting it all the way through. It comes all the way through the back here and comes out, and then it just wrapped around, and I glued it down and sewed it into the cover, so it is completely attached in there. Beautiful Tim Holtz papers in this, and just some fun eclectic things that I did for it. Again, another 2 signature. This one I did do the signature on the outside, but the unique thing on this, like I said, was the different kind of closure on this. So fun. Yeah, so April was teal. All right, so May brought us into yellow, and 2 totally different journals, both unique. The fabric version had this closure that I had put elastic that I had covered with a fabric, and it is attached to the back cover, sewn inside of it, so that it just wraps around and closes, and you have a great little closure on that. That was a fun one to do. And again, just regular single signature journal. Lots of fun things in there. Bright and cheery and yellow. Love it. The second one for the yellow, I did a different kind of journal. It was, I called it like a Z journal. You can see it from the top here, where you glue papers together. And it is, I'm just get this out of the way because it's harder to flip. It was double-sided reversible. So when we did one side, and once that got through, came through the other side. I did also put 2 toppers on this one. When it came through, it went through and did the second side. So it's like a never-ending journal. This was fun to make. Not a prolific topper maker, but it was fun to try my hand and get 2 different ones on this. And it definitely is a unique journal that could just keep getting stuff added to it for travel or whatever. So that is the May journal. Okay, June. June was orange. The June orange journal was a fabric one, was a singular journal, starting to get very chunky. As I got farther down along the series, since I was making ephemera for 5-6 months at this time, there was a lot more ephemera to add to these. So these started to get really chunky near the end. So this was the fabric for orange, but the companion for orange was a really fun one that I did with my Zetter cutter, where I bound a Go Dog Go book. And I thought this was so much fun to do. Had some fun trims on the edges and painty papers and happy and just some dogs, just fun. This was quirky and fun and just yeah, I really enjoyed making this one. Definitely different from any of the other kind of journals that I've made. So yeah, so that was for June orange. Okay, so moving on to July and red. Speaking of chunky, the flower journal with its 3 signatures, we'll get to that. The fabric journal, not as chunky since I was putting a lot of things in here. It's more of a normal size journal. I did do an eyelet with just some simple ribbons tied to the front and back. And my farm kit, Bricks and Farms, and yeah, just so pretty. I just, very summery. Strawberries and warm red colors and, yeah, nostalgia. Just loved it. Very fun to make. I'll try this later. And then the flower coloring book. This was a 3 signature one, like I said. And this one was fun to make. And this is just chock full of just goodness and fun and tags and yeah, so many fun ideas ran through this one. Love this. Loved it, loved it, loved it. All right, so that was July. Apple Jelly July. All right, so this brings us to August, the current month of purple. And if you saw this series, I decided not to do a second journal because I couldn't think of a unique idea. I didn't want to force anything. And I think it really paid off for this one because I really, since I concentrated just on one journal, I think this one turned out really, really excellent. I just did flip through it, so I'm not going to go through and do it. But yes, it is a chunky little monkey. Very excited. And I'm about to box it off to send it to its new owner. I got to grab some goodies to add to the box and get it shipped out this afternoon. But that's why I want to come and make the video, just to do a final recap. Say goodbye to the color journal series, even though I will be doing another rainbow one to kind of wrap this up, sort of, because I've got a lot of little extras laying around, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do that sooner or later. But I do have fabric that corresponded with these fabrics that we had that I never used because they were not one color, but I have these like bottle caps in colors, and then this was a fat quarter that had like all the colors in it for that. So yeah, so I do have some stuff that I can make and create a lovely little journal with, and I have the fabric for it. So like I said, I'm not sure if it'll be sooner or later that I'll be doing it, but I do have the fabric available to accomplish this. Yeah. Okay, well, I just have to take a deep breath after going through all that. That was quite a labor of love to do that over the past 8 months, but I'm very excited to have done it. And yeah, very excited to have it in the books, as they say. So I've said before, and I'll say it again, if you're ever interested in any of the journals, just reach out to me. Like I said, this one's getting boxed up to go to its new owner. And yeah, I'm usually willing to part with any of the ones that I have out there. Okay, well, this is going to be it for me today. I appreciate each and every one of you that's stuck by me today and witnessed this historic, to me, color journal series. All right, thanks so much for stopping by, and as usual, I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye for now.